Today, I want to cover how I make the kimchi that goes into my kimchi hot sauce, Chi-Chee. This is probably the most labor-intensive process out of all of my sauces, but I love this flavor so much that I will do whatever it takes to ensure I can scale this up without sacrificing quality. I start by prepping some daikon radish and carrot to run through my food chopper. I was hand-cutting these ingredients for years, so I'm really happy to have this labor saver in my arsenal. Since this is going to be fermented, it's extra important to maintain a very clean work area and that I wash my hands often during the process so I don't introduce bad bacteria that can spoil a batch. One of my favorite parts of making kimchi is prepping the Napa cabbage with my grand prize Kikuichi cutlery knife from winning Sauce King New York City in 2022. This blade is the perfect shape and size to handle these large heads. Ooh, talk about a sound that doesn't get old. This is a very soothing part of an otherwise intense process. I know someone is wondering why I don't run the cabbage through the food chopper too, and that's because I only have one blade size, which is a bit thin for what size I want the cabbage to be, and buying the right one is about $600. All in good time. Now it's time to salt the cabbage to break down its structure and draw out water. While the salt gets to work, I make a starchy slurry out of rice flour to serve as both the base of the seasoning paste as well as to add a little extra nutrient for the microbes to feast on. We're taking advantage of the natural lactobacillus bacteria present on most vegetables, creating a favorable environment for them by creating a salty paste which will help them outcompete any spoiling bacteria to create the delicious kimchi we know and love. Helping with that are fresh garlic, ginger, and apples that add both great flavor while also aiding in fermentation. Then a healthy dose of gochugaru, Korean chili flakes, for that rich red color and fruity smoky chili flavor. In a previous video, you saw me make a vegan and gluten-free substitute to the fish sauce that is normally used to make kimchi. It's a mix of shiitake mushroom, kombu, garlic, and tamari, which serves as the salty, savory base in the seasoning paste. Next goes in some scallions and the vegetables I chopped earlier. The salt in the paste will draw out the moisture and loosen so that it's going to be a bit easier to mix into the cabbage later. Speaking of cabbage, now that it's been salted for a couple of hours, I need to leach the salt out with a cold water soak. This salt has served its purpose, and now it's time to go. You can see how much the cabbage has shrunk, as well as this new almost translucent appearance. This is how you know it's ready for its final step. As anyone who has made kimchi before knows, one of the most important ingredients is elbow grease. Making 100 pounds of this stuff alone is a daunting task, but it's a pretty good thing I love doing this. Once it's all well mixed, then I clean and sanitize my fermentation containers right before I load them down with all this delicious kimchi. I mean, dude, check this color out. This is awesome. Once the airlocks are in place, I do a final cleaning wipe and lid them up, noting the date. They'll sit in the fermentation station for at least 3 weeks to get funky in the best way. The sauce can taste better if they sit longer, but time is money, and if the kimchi gets very sour, then I have to adjust the recipe to balance it out. But there you have it. This is how I make the kimchi for Chi-Chee. There's still the matter of making the sauce itself, but that's a process I'll cover in another video. I meant it when I said this is a laborious sauce, but it is absolutely worth the effort. Stay tuned for the final video where I cover the home stretch. Until then, as always, thanks for following along, and I'll catch you on the next one.